So this was a bit of a hurried mess, shall we say. Underneath all this tape is the FR4 potting resin, which I decided to use as a filler, and there's some on each of these things. Basically what had happened was that the bolt has not, I used the Kevlar 50mm tape, which has a tendency to pop off, unlike the Aramid 1414, which is very thin. This stuff won't do a small curvature. It just lifts off. So unfortunately, what had happened was a very large gap had been created around the bolt, which needed filling. So I just packed it out with the FR4 potting resin, which of course promptly started dripping out. So I then had to very hurriedly pack it with around with tape to create a makeshift mold. I've done that before, but then I found I had way too much, so started filling in all of the places where previously I'd been using hot glue. Like, where is one that's got lots of hot glue in it? Oh yes, here, underneath here, there's plenty of hot glue which I shoved in. And where's another good one? And this one here. Really, I should have left that and started filling it up with the FR4 instead. Likewise that one, because that was actually the araldite there, but it started to come loose. To be honest, where everything is going to be covered in the Kevlar epoxy, so it's not such an issue. But I got all the damn stuff. So where else? Oh yes, there were a couple of places on here where it was messy, so I made it even more of a mess by packing it out, just surfacing it with the FR4. Of course, it blotches and starts dripping, so you just have to very quickly create a temporary thing for it to fall under gravity. And this one here, this was the one that I made a real dog's dinner mess of with the very first Kevlar wrap. Underneath all of that mess is 18 inches of the 50mm Kevlar tape, and it didn't go well. So I think there's 3 nodes like that. 1, 2 at the other end, and that one down there, 3. Those were the first ones, and that was after when I realised that we really need to pack it out with paper, like paper and masking tape like this one, and then surface cover it, because it was just awful. But of course I've got the legacy of those to it was all over the place, so of course anything that you wrap on top of it is likewise all over the place. So filling it out on the surface with this, we can't leave air bubbles in it, so filling it with the epoxy with the FR4 when I've got some spare is what I've basically been doing. So did some on that one, did some on that one, and I think I did a little bit on the one over there. But yeah, just little places there. Thing that now I've just got to let that dry. The FR4 has a long drying time. I think it takes about a couple of hours to set, so I can't take any of that masking tape off in order to inspect the damage underneath. That one was fun, just pouring that on, and of course it started blotching out. Underneath some of these things is the mounting point, so that is a mounting point which is supposed to go on here, because that's upside down at the moment, so it will come up round and it will come onto there. So the last thing we need is for the FR4 to get so deep, up to the thing. I'm hoping like hell I haven't messed that up, because that's going to be a pig to dig it out. We have to check it. I think what I'll do is in about an hour or so, I'll see how I get on with actually taking some of the tape off and actually try turning it back upside down. And under finger pressure, it's still malleable for a short duration. So I should be able to try pressing it on and see how it goes.